Great job. Thank you. Welcome to Hannity. It is another major breaking news night tonight. In a moment, a live report from the border, our own Bill Malugin, where apprehensions now are peaking at over 10,000 per day, including individuals on the terror watch list. 1,000 more have evaded arrest. And as we speak, we have homeless veterans in this country. They are now being kicked out of hotel rooms just to accommodate those that are breaking our laws and our sovereignty and not respecting our borders. But Joe Biden, he seems to think it's all big, one laughing matter. Texas Congressman Chip Roy, he will join us with reaction straight ahead. And later, more from Judge Jeanine's interview with the attorney representing that Marine vet who was charged with manslaughter in the death of a violent homeless man on a New York City subway. But first tonight, House Judiciary Chairman Jim Jordan, Greg Jarrett, John Solomon, Sarah Carter, all the band's back together. The great one, Mark Levin, also will weigh in on tonight's top story, a story that was once near and dear to the hearts of every Trump hater in this country. Take a look.
New fallout tonight in the Russia investigation.
Russians.
Now, the left's Russia hysteria has officially come to an end after years and years and years of waiting. With the 2020 election safely now in the rearview mirror, the DOJ has finally published the findings of the Durham probe. Remember that? Now, long story short, every single thing that we reported to you on this program, we were correct. We've been vindicated time and again, especially today. Everything the media mob reported for almost 3 long years, day in and day out, nothing but lies and conspiracy theories. Adam Schiff was the congenital liar that we told you about. It only took the DOJ 7 years to get to the truth. Pretty incredible, damaging corruption that sadly is now going unpunished and will remain unpunished. But tonight, to be clear, there is no dispute. Trump-Russia collusion never, ever happened. It was a hoax and a lie, but more appropriately, it looks more like an attempted coup, a nearly 3-year running political smear job against Donald J. Trump, all orchestrated by Democrats with the help of the DOJ and the FBI, and, of course, the never-ending lies of the media mob. They spoke with one voice, and according to Durham's findings, there was no legitimate reason for the FBI to even open their investigation into Trump-Russia collusion, laughably named Crossfire Hurricane. Quote, the Crossfire Hurricane investigators did not and could not corroborate any of the substantive allegations contained in the Steele reporting, nor was Steele able to produce corroboration for any of the reported allegations, even after being offered $1 million or more by the FBI for such corroboration. Now, of course, Christopher Steele and his dirty dossier, that was all funded by Hillary Clinton and her campaign and the DNC that they controlled. It was the very basis of Crossfire Hurricane. As Durham put it, quote, there was significant reliance on investigative leads provided or funded directly or indirectly by Trump's political opponents. In other words, in the height of a presidential election, the Clinton campaign literally spoon-fed a baseless political smear against her opponent to the FBI. The FBI then eagerly tried to corroborate all these baseless smears. And when they couldn't, well, the Bureau still used the unverifiable Steele dossier to then go to a FISA court, lie to a FISA court, saying it was verified, it's unverifiable, for the purpose of ruining one man's life, Carter Page, to spy on a backdoor way on the Trump campaign, later his transition team, and then a president of the United States. Now, the total dossier was the very basis of a FISA application, 3 subsequent renewals. They lied 4 times to a FISA court, lying to a court at the top of a FISA warrant. It says verified. It was all unverifiable. Even after swearing that evidence was true and verified, Durham found that the FBI, under Comey's tremendous leadership, even withheld exculpatory evidence from the FISA court. Quote, FBI personnel working on that same FISA application displayed at best a cavalier attitude towards accuracy and completeness. The report continues, quote, FBI personnel also repeatedly disregarded important requirements when they continue to seek renewals of that Pfizer surveillance, while acknowledging both then and in hindsight that they did not genuinely believe there was probable cause to believe that the target was knowingly engaged in clandestine intelligence activities on behalf of a foreign power or knowingly helping another person in such activities. Let's put it simply. The FBI knew it was BS. So did the Clinton campaign. So did Adam Schiff. So did Jim Comey. So did Peter Strzok and Company. So did Clapper. So did Brennan. And so did the entire media mob. Everyone went hook, line, and sinker. Everyone pushing the Russia collusion coup was lying to flip a presidential election. Well, for example, here's Hillary Clinton on October 31st, 2016, quote, computer scientists have apparently uncovered a covert serving linking the Trump organization to a Russia bank. That was a lie that Hillary just can't seem to quit. Take a look.
I believe he knows he's an illegitimate president.
I think it's also critical to understand that, as I've been telling candidates who have come to see me, you can run the best campaign, you can even become the nominee, and you can have the election stolen from you.
Wow, what has happened to our country? Hillary Clinton is delusional, and she's not the only one. Congenital liar Adam Schiff said there was ample evidence of collusion. That was a lie. Remember Fang Fang's best friend, former lover, also championing the evidence of collusion, Eric Swalwell? He was lying. And we could go on and on and on. Here are some of the biggest political and deep state liars in their own words. You decide.
You believe the president right now has been an agent of the Russians?
Yes, I think there's more evidence than he is. Yes, and I think all the arrows point in that direction, and I haven't seen a single piece of evidence that he's not.
I think he's afraid of the president of Russia.
Why?
Well, I think one can speculate as to why. That the Russians may have something on him personally that they could always roll out and make his life more difficult.
This past weekend is illustrative of what a great case officer Vladimir Putin is. He knows how to handle an asset, and that's what he's doing with the president.
The American people need to know whether the Russians still have something they can hold over the president's head, the president of the United States. So our work is far from done. I can certainly say with confidence that there is significant evidence of collusion between the campaign and Russia.
Now, it wasn't just the deep state for years. If you turned on fake news CNN, MSDNC, it was all lies 24/7. Take a look.
Based on our own reporting and word from numerous official sources, the dossier, in fact, is far from bogus.
No major thing from the dossier has been conclusively disproven.
We already know that the part about the coverage that they have on him with sex actions is supposed to be true.
The intelligence community has corroborated, whoever paid for it, has corroborated a lot of the information that was in there to begin with.
Correct. There are actually substantial portions of what was in the Steele dossier, which was a raw intelligence document, that have indeed checked out.
You know, I think we're going to actually have to stop calling it the infamous dossier. Increasingly, it's the accurate dossier. Increasingly, it's the damning dossier.
Not one word has been disproven. In fact, a lot of it turned out to be right on the money.
The dossier, right, which looked sort of out there at first, is getting truer and truer and truer as facts come out.
But some of the substantive content of the dossier we were able to corroborate in our intelligence community assessment.
It hasn't been discredited. In fact, it's been the opposite. It's been corroborated.
Really?
Yes.
Really? Oh, okay.
Your intel community. Your intel community has corroborated all of the details in there. The meetings,
all the details, not all the details.
Hold on, Congressman. Let's go over it.
They were all lying, or at best, they didn't care to know the truth. The New York Times, Washington Post, they got Pulitzer Prizes for their lies. But now, will any of these people ever be held accountable? Of course not. The media mob is still dishonest. The FBI is still politicized. The DOJ is now weaponized more than ever. And the Democratic Party is pulling all the strings.